Welcome to the fastest daf in town, Tanilim Masechtas Menachos Daf Tes. We are going to begin on Tes Amud Aleph, about 7 lines from the top with the word Itmar. So we find the following machlokas Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. B'lo chutz l'chemas azar. Let's say a person mixed up the mincha, but it was done not in the right place. It was done outside of the walls of the azar. So Rabbi Yochanan Reb Psur Shlokish Amar Ksheira. So it's actually a machlokas, right? Over here, Shlokish Amar Ksheira. Why? Because the pasuk says, "Vayisak aleha shemen," that you're going to do the pouring of the oil, v'nasan aleha lavayin, and you put frankincense. V'hader, after you do the yitzika, v'hader behavia el b'nei Aaron kohanim, then only afterwards it's brought to the kohanim v'kamatz. Now, why does it say it that way? That the b'nei Aaron get it and then do kamitza? It's mashma. That's only mekamitza ve'el kamitzas kahuna. It's only, this is perhaps similar to shchita, which is kash bazar, that when it comes to the mincha, limid al yitzika ubelila shiksher bazar, umid kahuna look boy. So therefore, panim nami little boy. So since it's not necessary to have a kohen to do the pouring or the mixing of the mincha offering, so therefore we could also interpret that to also understand that you probably also don't have to do it bifnim. So therefore, the fact is that if you would have done the belula chutz l'chemes as azara, Rishon it's kosher. Okay, so there the kahuna little boy, panim nami little boy. Rabbi Yochanan no psul kivan dasiyasa b'kli, who the fact that it was put into a kli nehi de kahuna boy. I understand, it's true. The pasuk says that only from the time of kamitza is it necessary, but nonetheless panemias boy. However, taka still needs to be in inside the proper location, and therefore if it's outside the chemes azara, it's not good. So we can split the two. Okay. Let's see with any Rashis on this. Okay. So Itmar. Mincha shechasra kaidim kamitza. So you had the mincha offering, and there's some of the flour in the mincha offering that ended up getting lost before you actually did the kamitza, so it wasn't full. So Rav Yochanan, okay, so Yomi mitach beis Yomi melena, so he can go to his house and get more flour so that it reaches the proper amount. Rish Lakish Aimer lo Yomi mitach beis Yomi melena. You actually cannot do so, and therefore, since it's not the whole thing, so therefore it will be possible. Okay, so that is again another machlokas. Rabbi Yochanan Aimer maybe mitach beis Yomi melena. So it's interesting. Over there, first you had Reish Lakish was explained first, and here for some reason Rabbi Yochanan is explained first. I'm not sure the reason. Rabbi Yochanan maybe mitach beis Yomi. Why can Rabbi Yochanan say you can actually still get flour from your home? Why? Because kamitza kiboile kavale. It's the kamitza which actually concretizes it, and therefore Rashi says the whole comment doy kamitz, as long as you haven't done the kamitza, lo mikri mincha. It's not called a mincha, and therefore, if it's the fact is once it's called a mincha, then it can't be missing. But since kamitza wasn't done, it's not a problem. So you can just go and get more and fill it up. Why? Kedushas kli kava. It's actually the kedusha of the kli that it was in. Is what makes it into a mincha. That's what calls it into a mincha, and therefore it has to be a mincha, which is pra likish chasra if it's missing. Okay. So Rav Yochanan so you Reish Lakish say that when it comes to this, the din is that you can't get and fill it up. Chaser halug. Let's say it says if you're missing a lug of oil, this is referring to the Mitzayra before it was poured upon his left hands. So what does it say? What can you do? Im ad shelo yitzayk imaleno. So you can just fill it up. So we see clearly when it comes to the Lugshel Shemna Matzaira, that if it's missing, you can do so. So L'chayra should be the same thing here. Tiyaf the Takat's a good point. Takat's a good point. Okay. Okay, let's look at question 1. Yetzika ubelila de mincha im ksher bazar ve'im kshera chutz la'azara. So it's interesting. It says over here it's kshera bazar, which seems to be pretty clean. That's true. However, when it comes to in chutz la'azara, that's actually a machlokas. So that is seemingly exactly what we said, right? That it's clear that medikahuna little boy panim little boy, but maybe it's not true. Maybe panim mias boy. Okay, that was question 1. Let's actually look at question TB20. Actually, maybe there's a TA question here as well. If I could find my test. Here it is. TA 18. Mincha shabola zar shabola b'chutz ma'adin. Okay, same question. So if it's by a zar, it's okay. However, b'chutz is machlokas, right? Which is question 18. Zar kasher b'chutz plukim b'gemara. Okay, so that's TA 18. Same as question 1. And TB, I guess this is a pretty clean question. That's why they're asking it. 21. I wrote mincha shabola zar o shabola b'chutz ma'adin. So I wrote, this is totally wrong. B'chutz is a machlokas, and mincha shabola zar is kosher l'kol yalmo. Okay, I don't know why I got that wrong, but unfortunately I did. That's TB 21. It's just a lot of information, I guess. Okay, let's keep on moving. So again, apparently it's a tiyuf on Reish Lakish that l'chayra we should allow you just to fill it up. Okay. Maybe we have question 2 here as well. Let's see. Okay, we're not up to that yet. Let's just read the question. Shirayim shechasru. Oh, we're not up to Shirayim yet, so let's keep going. Okay, so Itmar. Shirayim shechasru. This is what we're up to. When you have the leftovers of the mincha after you did the kmitza, and you're missing being kmitza l'hakdaira, right? So the question is, Rav Yochanan Amar makter kaimetz aleihin. So it's okay, you could still be makter the kaimetz, even though it's true that you're missing some of the shirayim, and you already did kmitza. So can you actually burn up the kmitza? Rav Yochanan says yes, and Rav Shlokish ein makter kaimetz aleihin. He says you cannot do so. So, Alibad Rabbi Eliezer Kol Milo Pligi. According to the sheet of Rabbi Eliezer, no one disagrees. What does that mean? Says Rashi, Dama Heicha of the Shirayim O Nisrafa. In the event where Madach, you mamish lose all the Shirayim. He said that if you're missing it entirely, you can still burn the kamitza. So koshkin chasru dikashir b'mixasa. At least you have some, right? Some is better than nothing. But he even says that even nothing is okay. You can still be mocked to the kaimitz. So according to him, there's no shaila that it's okay. So in that case, right? According to him, there's no argument because it has to be that that Rabbi Eliezer holds that this was acceptable. However, according to Rabbi Yeshua, not so simple. Okay, what's Rabbi Yeshua? This Ditnan. Nitmu shireha. Let's say the shirayim got tameh. Nisvru shireha got destroyed, burned. Ivdu shireha. Kamidas Rabbi Eliezer kshera. As we said, Rabbi Eliezer would hold it doesn't matter. It's kosher when it's not here. However, Kamidas Rabbi Yeshua psula. Rabbi Yeshua says if it's completely burnt up and gone, then it's puzzle. Says Rashi, because it says v'asiso l'secha basar v'dam. Dam afa b'shein basar, basar afa b'shein dam. That's what Rabbi Eliezer holds. You could still do it even if it's missing. Fine. So that's why he holds it's okay. Yeshua says im ein basar ein dam. If there's no basar, there's no dam. In dam in basar, and therefore it's the same idea. Is that just like if there's no basar of a carbon, you can't do the zrikas adam. So if there's no flour at all, which is likened to the basar, then you can't do the kamitza, which is likened to the zrikas adam. So according to him, you cannot do it at all. So Manda Pasal, the one who says it doesn't work by the if it's missing a little bit, is Rabbi Yeshua, because Rabbi Yeshua says it's not good. Manda Machshir, the one who says it's okay, it's not so clean, because when he says it's okay, maybe it's Adkan Loy Omer Rabbi Yeshua Hasam El Doi Shtayr. Maybe it's only because there's nothing left at all, right? So maybe that's the reason why he says that. If there's a little left, right? If there's a little left, so I feel Rabbi Yeshua Maida. So maybe he would even Maidale, he would say it's okay. Desanya Rabbi Yeshua Omer Kol Zvachim Shabbatarish Nishtayr Mehem Kazayis Basar or Kazayis Chelav Zar Kadam. So we see that even though he holds in Basar in Dam, but if there is at least a small amount of basar left, then you could do the zrikas adam. So even though it's true, it's missing some of the shirayim, but there's still enough left. So therefore, you should be able to do the kamitza. You should be able to do the being makter the kamitza. So that's the logic. Kechatzi zayis basar, kechatzi zayis chelav enu zrikas adam, because you don't split the two. Uba oila feel. Because when we're talking about an oil, a carbon oil, it's all burnt. Mashiinkin, when it comes to another carbon in which chatzi is lemizbeach, is Hashem, and the other is, I can call it chem, is for the kohen, so therefore it's not mitzdarf. Uva mincha avol b'shikul kayemes, he says that even when it comes to a mincha, however, even if all of it is still there, lo yizraik mincha, you should still not sprinkle do the mincha as we continue Testament base. So my vidite. So what mincha my vidite? What is he talking about a mincha over here? We're just talking about carbonis. Says Rashi, my zrika yesh b'mincha. There's no zrika sadam. It's a flour offering. So I'm going to put minchas nesachim. Says Rashi, when it comes to the libation, which comes together with the carbon, im avad chayil v'basar shel zevach. Let's say you miss the basar. In the minchas kayemes lo yizra kadam, it says mina mincha or mishum mincha. The fact that you had the nesachim does not allow you to do the zrika, because it's linked to the basar, not to the nesachim. Since the nesachim come together with the carbon, ki gufa de zevach dami, and therefore the fact is it should be good enough that you should. The fact that that's there should be enough to be able to do the zrika. Kamashmon, no. Uman the pasal shani hacha. They say it's different over here. Do you ever recall the pasuk says the herim akayin mina mincha esas karasa the hikter hamizbecha hamincha adi asa l'kula mincha until it's the entire mincha lo yaktir. So basically, you can learn this up and say, no, the pasuk is mashma that the whole thing has to be there, and therefore, otherwise, you cannot be makter. Vidach minha mincha says mincha shahaisa kvar. It just means the mincha that was there before, the pasuk is gone. Now, shlema b'shas kamitza yadav b'dahashte eno shlema. Okay, let's look at question 2. Shirayim shechasru ben kamitza akdara. He makter lehes a kaimitz. So he says to Machalosh Reishon Rav Yochanan, Haveim hashirayim mutarn v'achil. Okay, we didn't get to that, but Lashitas Rabbi Eliezer claim a little plague in makter lehes kaimitz. You can definitely be makter the kaimitz because he holds that even if it's completely gone, you can be makter the kaimitz. Here, only some of it's missing. According to Rabbi Yeshua, then you could say to Machalosh Rav Yochanan Reish Lakish, as we're going to see in a moment, L'kuli alma hashirayim astruin b'achila. For the shirayim, for some reason, we'll see, is going to be asur ba'achil. Okay. Okay, let's keep on moving then. All right, so we have a question. So you, Reish Lakish, hold that in the situation where the shirayim are missing between the kamitza and the haktaira, that you, Reish Lakish, says that you cannot be makta the kaimitz. On you, I have a question. How can you say you cannot be makta the kaimitz? Frek the Gemara. Is Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish Ad Shaloi Parka Nifras. And let's say before regarding the lechem upon him, it was removed, it was broken apart, right? Before you move the lechem upon him, it was broken apart. The lachma halechem pasul. Then we say that the lechem is going to be pasul. The ein makter alav as a bazichin. You can't bring the bazichin, which is like a maksher similar to the dam or the kemitza. So if the lechem is not proper, so then you can't bring the bazichin. So what do we see? Says Rashi, Alma shirayim shechasru ben siluk kemitza l'hakatayra maktirin alayhu akaimitz. So this says she could be mocked to the kaimitz. So let's go through this. We didn't finish this yet. Okay, so again, if it was already crumbled, then you can't do it. You can't be mocked in the bezichin. However, mishipirka nifras lachma halechem pasul. The lechem is still pasul, of course. However, umakter lehesa habezichin. It says you could be mocked in the bezichin. So therefore, what do you see? It's a raya that it's should be the same thing. That if you're missing a little bit of the mincha, you could still be mocked there the ketairis. As we said, even though all it is even if it didn't actually happen yet, it wasn't removed. Not that it was removed, it means you reached the time in which it is normally removed, in which we saw previously is the 7th hour. The Alpha Bolshevik didn't do it. So Amalei Hamani Rabbi Eliezer he. So this Shita is like the Shita of Rabbi Eliezer, who is very makel, as we said, that he said you could be mocked to the Ketairis anyway if it's completely gone. Minalach Mishnah Shlema. I told you a Mishnah Shlema, complete Mishnah, namely a Stam Mishnah, as Rashi says, V'amrit li at Rabbi Eliezer. So you're telling me it's Rabbi Eliezer? It's a Stam Mishnah. So apparently it's something in which is not just a machlokas. Rabbi Eliezer, if you want Rabbi Eliezer, you want to tell it's him. My area nifras. Also, why would he say that there's a distinction that when the lechem upon him was removed, whether the breads were crumbly? I feel sorry for Obenami Machsher. He wouldn't care if it's broken apart. He would even be Machsher if it's completely gone, right? Even if it's completely gone, it wouldn't matter to him. It would still be good, according to him. So Ishtik. So Vamai Shasak, why are you saying Lemale Sibur Shani? Why don't you just say, you're right, normally he's very lenient. However, when it comes to a tzibor by lechem upon him, so maybe we're more strict. So Hoyel Ishtri Tuma Gabayu Ishtri Nami Chaserois. So why don't we say so we say that since he mater Tuma by them, we're also going to be mater Chaserois. We're not going to just assume that we're going to be lenient, because we know with regard to a tzibor, it says by the Carbon Talmud, it says b'moadai mashma afilu b'shabes v'tuma. So we're already lenient when it comes to. You can't say, oh, we're maybe a little more strict by lechem panim. We see that we're very lenient. So this actually is some supportive proof over here that hachisaron kabal mum dami vein bal mum b'tzibor. Says Rashi, medoloi shani hachi. Why didn't it just give this answer? It must be that a chisaron missing is just like a bal mum, and the ein bal mum shari b'tzibor. We know that when it comes even more at tzibor, we don't allow you to bring a carbon which is a bal mum, and it's no different than a carbon yachid. Hilka chisaron debein kmitza akatayra ihavi pasol biyachid. If we passel it as an individual, havi pasel nami b'tzibor hilkach ishtik. That's the reason why there was some silence over here. Yosef Rav Papa v'Karmel Hashemayis Amalei Rabbi Yosef Bar Shemiel Rav Papa Samil Askina and Rabbi Yochanan Reish Lakish b'Minchas Omer Hatzibor Hiu Pligi. Aren't they arguing even in the situation by a Minchas the Omer, which is a tzibor, and they still argue even there. So it shouldn't be. So we shouldn't be machalik by a tzibor, as this is a tzibor. So Amar Malchioi Tanachada Misalta. It says from the flour offering, Shim Chasr Kol Shehu Psula, which is mashma, even if you miss any of it, it's possible. Misham Na, from its oil, Shim Chasr Kol Shehu possible. But Tiny Yet we learned another brisa, says Vanoseres Men Mincha, just as long as if it's missing. Pratla Mincha Shechasrihi, if it's completely missing. Shechasra Kumsa, Shalo Hikdir Milavoinasa. So kum. So how do we understand this? There's trei kroi b'chaseros lamali. So it seems, why do we have these two psukim? Must be lav chad lemincha shechasr kaidim kamitza. One is telling you it's referring to a mincha that's missing before the kamitza. The chad l'shirayim shechasr ben kamitza hakdaira. The tifdi Rav Yochanan b'tavayu. It's actually a tifdi now Rav Yochanan by both of them. Lo chad lemincha shechasr kaidim kamitza. One is the mincha which is before the kamitza. The maybe mebesa mimlena. Someone tell you, like I hold, that if it's missing, you can take from your home. In the ilo loyin. If not. V'chad shirayim, and the other one is shirayim shechasru bein kamitzel hakatayra. The afagav the makter kaimitz lehen. Even if you were makter it, oisan shirayim asun lachila. That's actually what we want to get to. But number two, it doesn't make a difference. Even though you're allowed to bring it, but it means that since it was chaser, fine, it's okay if it was chaser, but you can't eat the shirayim. The boil who ladirio aim shirayim shechaser ben kamitzel aktar makter kaimitzel lehen oisan shirayim mahin be'achilo. Could you eat them? So Omer Ziri, Omer Kra, the pasuk says no seres, only from the leftovers. V'lo hanasaris min hanasaris, not the leftovers from the leftovers, and therefore the answer is no. You cannot eat. No eating. Okay. Rabbi Yanai Omer Meha Mincha Mincha Shahisa Kfar. So that's the answer to question 2. Can you eat the mincha? It says V'lukuli Alma Hashirayim Asurin Bachila. Okay. All right. And with that said, we may actually stop there. Okay, fine. Actually, we will stop there, but let's maybe see one more question. TA19. Nope. TB22. Adkan.